Welcome everybody. We're back with another video on distributed computing. We basically first talked about what distributed computing is. Basically, it's using different nodes on different computers to access and control and coordinate between them around your data. You basically create information systems so that data could be get stored. It is easier to retrieve. It is easier to improve performance, and it is not prone to some additional security risks as well. Let's now further move on to some issues I would like to talk about with databases. Database security is a very important issue because it contains sensitive information about your personal information, about customers' credit card information, these kinds of info. So it is very important that you keep this confidential. Some of these issues include the following. The first one is data breach. That is basically it's vulnerable to cyber attacks such as hacking. Next, we've got data tampering, which could be changes to database data that can have serious consequences such as manipulation of financial record. If, for example, a company's stock is on profit, but if someone who's unauthorized gets the access to it and makes some changes that it looks like it's in loss, it could lead to some bad business decision being made. Apart from this, if for example a product is in loss, but in reality, it is in reality it is in loss, but someone who has unauthorized access makes those changes to make it look as if it's in profit, it could cause companies to they could fall really hard. Like genuinely, the companies could get shut down because of these small security issues. So hence, it's very important that you treat them and you give them equal importance because it could cause systems to for big companies to just fall out because of these kind of issues regarding data tampering. Then we've got data loss, which is basically when data is being lost due to hardware failure and software issues. Another one of the issues which could happen is inadequate access control. Basically, your system's access control is very weak. You do not have a proper maintenance of who's got access, who does not have access, how to prevent other people from accessing this kind of data. So this kind of poor access control system is equally destructive as compared to data tampering, as I mentioned. Then we've got SQL injection, which is which is basically one of the newest types of problems or security risks that have occurred in database. It is basically a type of attack in which malicious code is inserted into a database query, potentially exposing sensitive data. Basically, if you have read or understood SQL, you must know that SQL is basically a query language which is used to query out information. If in those queries you make those changes which could cause sensitive information to be either changed or edited or maybe even deleted, it could lead to compromising of the entire system. Hence, this kind of issues are nowadays very much possible. Then we've got the design approach of DDP. I mean, these were some of the problems with database databases. Now I want to talk about the approach that we take when we're designing distributed database. Again, distributed database is same as distributed computing, so don't worry about that. The first step is decomposing data, in which what you do is you decompose or divide the data into smaller manageable chunks called partition. Next, you've got replicating data, in which the partition data you use it to replicate so that it could be passed on to multiple nodes. Then we've got defining the inter-node communication, in which you define how you're gonna what mechanism are you going to use, what protocols are you going to follow when you're trying to exchange the information coordinated with the activities. Then we've got data distribution, which in which the data partition that we just made are assigned to specific nodes. Then we've got data consistency, that will make sure that the data is maintained and it's being updated real time, and in case if any failure occurs it can be compensated. Well, that is basically a little bit about the disadvantages that have caused databases to some prone to more issues, and then the solution, which is distributed database. I've also shown you the some basic steps, the 5 steps that are followed when you're trying to design a distributed databases. You must know what these types are all about, and if you're having any problems, if you've got any queries, please write it in the comments. I will definitely take time to answer them out. And please like and subscribe so we can keep updated, and we'll move further into this topic in the next lectures. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.